here's an example of completing the square. First of all, in the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, when you complete the square, a must equal 1. So the coefficient before the x squared has to equal 1 before you start. That's generally the first thing students forget. So you want to divide every single thing by 4. And then when you write the next fraction, or if there's a fraction in your second term before the x, don't write 7x over 4, write it as 7 over 4x, because then this is going to give, let me just look for this, this is going to be the coefficient of the x, and that's really what we need. Okay, and so then I can say plus 3/4 and then equals 0, because 0 divided by anything is 0. Next, I'm going to subtract and move the constant term over. Sometimes I cross my 7s. I don't know why. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, so now in order to complete the square, what we do is we take this term, that middle term, and we're going to take half of it. So I can divide it by 2, but instead it's much easier when it's a fraction to multiply it by a half. Because if you divide something by 2, it's the same thing as multiplying it by a half. Okay, and so I get negative 7/8. Now, if you can reduce that, you want to reduce it, but you can't in this case. Okay, and then this number is going to be very important. We'll come back to that in a second, but then what you want to do is you want to square it. So I square the top and I square the bottom, and it will, that number, when you square it, is always positive, no matter what, because you're squaring a number. Okay, so that gets added to both sides so that I balance the equation. Adding it on the left is going to be what's going to make it a perfect square trinomial, and adding it on the right is for the balance. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Okay, so now it's time to factor the left-hand side. So let me just erase that. And so when I factor it, it's going to be the same thing twice. And that's what is meant by completing the square. I'm making it a perfect square trinomial. So x minus, and then that's where this comes into play. First of all, I knew it was minus because it's going to always follow this sign. I also know it's minus because of this negative. I don't put 2 minuses in, I just put 1 in. Okay, so what was important about this number before you square it is that that negative 7/8 is always going to go into the parentheses, and you would just write x minus 7/8. Okay, then on the left, you usually have a little bit of arithmetic to do. So I need to find a common denominator between 4 and 64, which is just 64. So I have to multiply the 4 by 16, but whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So I get a negative 48 plus 49, which is a 1, over that common denominator of 64. Okay, and so now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I'm going to write this over here. So I get x minus 7/8 equals, and then this is the next part you don't want to forget, plus or minus. Whenever you take the square root of a left and a right-hand side, you put the plus or minus on the side that doesn't include the variable. And the square root of 1 over 64 is 1/8. So then you're going to add 7/8 over, and you're going to add it to the beginning, to the front. So I get 7/8 plus or minus 1 over 8. And if this was a radical that you were adding, you can leave your answer, but because it's not a radical, I can simplify it. So I have 7/8 plus 1/8, which is 8 over 8, or 1. And then I also have 7/8 minus 1/8, which is 6/8, or always reduce 3 over 4. Okay, and that's how you complete the square.